we not only have 60 people that were evicted from the riverbeds, but we also have homeless that are in front of CVS Pharmacy every night, like Ramona. We have others that are behind Blockbuster. We have others that were evicted from areas down by the 605 freeway. We have others that were evicted from the old Shangri-La, from the old bar that was down there. We know in our surrounding communities that homelessness exists and that poverty exists. And in the example where we talk about the riverbed up here, where we have people living in unsafe conditions, living near a river, where if it were to flood, these people, their lives would be in jeopardy and in danger. And it's a delicate balance that we have to be able to strike. Not a balance between people's safety and people's lives, but we need to be able to look at it holistically. It's not something that we as a city council can solve on our own. It's something that requires our working with our social services groups. It's something that requires us working with Assemblyman Ed Hernandez, with Congresswoman Hilda Solis, with all of our elected officials, because it's not something that's unique to the city of Azusa, not at all. But we also have to create environments for these homeless people, because in some cases, and I have talked to several of them, they don't want to go into someone's home. Ramona is a prime example. When I put her up in the Colonial Motel over Christmas, I talked to her several times during that, and I said, you know, Ramona, there are families that have offered to take you in for 5 days at a time. She said, you know, I don't want that. I said, but Ramona, these are warm homes and families that invite you in. So we have to be able to provide services and places for people to go for those who will take them. And we also need to realize that there are some, as much as we want to help and try to help, are not open to that idea.
I'd like to give you my viewpoint. A few months back, I proposed a poverty summit. I already had approval and interest from Senator Romero's office. Bill Bach and I spoke. We had regional and state people willing to commit to work out a plan to address the issues of poverty and homelessness. We had APU willing to join in. But it was a new project. The five of us had not decided, so it was put on the table. I refused to be an ostrich and put my head in the sand and not address that issue. We're waiting till the council meets again, maybe after March, whatever happens, and address the issue of poverty. I already had issues lined up. I had people lined up, but it was not the right time. My idea was rebuked, stopped, asked not to go forward with it. But we did have interest. People were ready to go. Matt Vesper from APU was ready to set up meeting times and invite state and regional people because there was interest. They wanted to come and help. We can no longer turn away. I also help feed Ramona. Sometimes Linda says, you always give her money, but she has to eat. And those are quality of life issues that I'm talking about. As soon as I get the get-go, we'll get that conference going. A poverty summit here in Azusa. And it was brought down by the current city council. Thank you.
I'd also like to offer in a rebuttal. What I've heard sounds like what I recently heard from Miles Rosedale in regards to the Rosedale Foundation grants. When those were presented, they were given a preamble. We are giving people the tools to help themselves. Now, at the same time, Azusa was in the process of proposing to take 76 properties in the central business district at eminent domain as a gateway to the Rosedale development. Does that make sense? Taking 76 properties and then turning around and giving a certain amount of dollar, helping people to help themselves? Also, community block grants. We're given money from the federal government precisely for the homeless. How were these funds used? To purchase Block 36. How will Block 36 be used? For the community pillars. Are the community pillars the homeless? No. Who are the community pillars? We're going to be hearing about that.
All right.
Mr. Carrillo, since your appointment 2 years ago, what programs or projects have you spearheaded that have come into fruition?
I have been key in dealing with, talking with developers for for Block 36. I have represented the community not only locally, but